to the Milford Minute. I'm Kristen Manning with Keller Williams, Seven Hills. Today I am here at the Milford Public Library, also known as the Mystery Library, here in downtown historic Milford. And I am with Barbara Burke, who is the president of the board here. Barbara, thank you so much for having me.
Well, you're welcome. Thank you so much for coming. We're delighted to have you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. So tell me a little bit about the Milford Public Library and its history, because I know it dates back pretty far to the 1800s. So tell me a little bit about that.
Right. Well, in the early 1820s, Milford was a booming community, just beginning to get its feet on the ground. And there were people here who were concerned about the welfare of the people. And so they went to Williamsburg, which was the county seat at the time, and they got a charter to have a library.
Awesome.
And the library, that as they did it, was out of their own homes. They lent their own books.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
But about 1901, this building became available, and they decided that they would have a small library out of this building, which is what at that time was the Kugler building.
Okay.
John Kugler's Hall.
Okay.
And they were able to obtain space here, and that's where they started.
Awesome.
Before that, a small library was operating in Milford, and before they came to the John Kugler home, hall, and that library started here, and that's where we still are.
Okay.
We're still in 1922 or 2022, and we're still in the John Kugler Hall.
Yeah, that's awesome.
In 1919, Dr. Belt, who lived across the street in the Millcroft, bought this building.
Okay.
And he said at the time that he would eventually leave the building to the ladies of the Milford Public Library.
Oh, cool.
I don't know where the gentlemen were.
Yeah.
But
who knows?
Yeah. When his daughter died in 1927, that's when he made that promise. And because his daughter and his wife were great readers. So
that's great.
When he died, his wife died in 1930, and he died a few days later, and the building then was left in trust to the board of the Milford Library.
Oh, wow.
And he had a sort of a thing there that said, if there ever wasn't a library here, then the building would have to be sold.
Oh, okay.
And sent back to, the money then would go to St. Thomas Church in Terrace Park.
Oh, okay.
From the sale of the building. Well, that was a very great problem. It proved to be a great problem later on. But in the meantime, that was fine, and that's what they did. So the Milford Public Library went along as a city library, a village library, until in 1959, I think it was. Yes, in 1959, the decision was made to join with the Claremont County Library System.
Okay.
And which is very interesting because, of course, the Claremont County Library System was working. However, they did not have a brick and mortar building. They only operated out of bookmobiles.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So this was also the first real building for the Claremont County Library. And
cool.
I remember coming here as a child before it was ever Claremont County, but my children came here as the Claremont County Library. And so they stayed here until 1985.
Okay.
Well, then there was a problem because they were outgrowing it. When they first started this building as a library, it was a little part of the Kugler Hall, and it was a little room over there. And then they grew a little bit over here. Then it went upstairs with the children's library, and then it took all that space, and they had to leave.
Yeah.
So what are they going to do? They've got this, that they have to have a library here, or else they got to sell the building, and it will go to
that's so crazy.
It'll go to the church and so on. So the decision was made to make it a mystery library, and that's all we have here. And we operate strictly as unusual library would, with a few unusual things, like we don't have a computer.
Okay.
So so you sign out your card, and then you put the card back in a due date card, and then you put it in what I call the cheese box.
Yes.
But, you know, and it's all filed there in a little thing on the desk.
Yeah.
So that's how we operate.
I love it.
And it's all volunteer. There's no one else. No one gets paid here.
Yeah.
We have all new books, and we order books regularly, up to date. The books are up to date. We have almost 3,000 volumes here.
Wow. Yeah, you have a lot.
Yes, we do. All mysteries.
That's awesome.
And so it's sort of a unique niche we fill.
Yeah, I love that. And I'm a huge mystery fan, so that's probably the genre that I gravitate towards the most. So when I heard that we had a mystery library, I was like, wow, I need to check this out, because this is awesome.
We're really glad that you have come to talk to us.
Yeah.
Because we think we're a pretty well-kept secret.
Yeah, you are, for sure.
I get, I do think we have a niche.
Yeah.
I know that, I'm thinking of one family who comes regularly. It's their library day.
Yeah.
And they go to quirky libraries like the Mercantile and us and others, and that's what they do on this particular Saturday. So
I love it.
I think we're, you know, an interesting place to
visit. Yeah,
yes, we are.
For sure. Yeah, and
We
you're right
certainly
in the heart of downtown Milford, so great spot.
As to the Milford Public Library, why we keep that name, I think that's we're public in service and who we serve, and it's historically correct. We have always been the Milford Public Library, and I think that we're very great to give a nod to history.
Yeah, for sure.
And so we keep that, although we're in no way connected with the Claremont County Library anymore.
Okay.
It's
you're your own
Yes,
thing.
we're an entity into ourselves. Nobody gets paid. Everybody does this for the love of the place.
I love it.
And the way we make money is to buy new books is once a year we have a book sale.
Yeah.
Which is going on right now, and we'll keep the books out till we do it with hometown holidays in Milford.
Yeah.
But then we keep them out till about the end of January.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome.
And
very cool.
So and we have an interesting way of doing it, because when you come to our book sale, don't ask us how much the book is. You tell us how much it's worth.
Wow, that's really cool.
So
a little barter action kind of thing.
well, and it's very interesting because we find we probably make more money that way.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's probably true, because you want to know, what do people value that at, because you don't know.
Right.
You know,
and we do that as a donation.
Yeah.
So I guess people could take it off on their income tax if they wanted to, if they thought about it. But
Yeah, they definitely could. Yeah, that's wonderful.
So that's pretty much our story.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So I heard you did a record year of sales over the past weekend during Hometown for the Holidays.
We did.
That's great. Yeah,
Yes,
that's wonderful.
Well over donations of well over $1,000. So
That's wonderful.
Yes.
So you can buy new books for.
Well, we buy them. We sort of find the money to buy them anyway. We order new books every month.
Yeah. Wow. That's
So-
awesome. That's very cool.
Yeah.
Very
So if you're
awesome.
waiting for the latest Louise Penny, we'll have it.
Awesome.
So-
Yay. Woohoo. Do you need a membership to be a member of this library, or can anybody come?
Well, anybody can come, but to check out books, yes, we do have a membership.
Okay.
It's free.
Okay. Nice.
And it's really just a simple signing up. So we have your name and address and so forth. It's not a big,
Yeah.
it's not a big hoodoo, but
You don't need to give your firstborn child or anything.
no, no, that's correct. Nothing like that. And there are benefits to it, because, well, if we have something like the sale going on or something else that's happening, we use social media. We are on Facebook, and
Nice.
plus we also have an email list, and that, if you're a member, then you're on that email list, and you'll get any email or any notifications of
Nice.
anything that's going on.
That's great.
And
wonderful.
sometimes we do other, we have done before the pandemic, lecture series, that type of thing, and we'll probably try to instill something like that again.
Okay.
And so you would get notice of that if you're a member.
Awesome. Very cool.
So
So tell me, we kind of touched upon, a little bit about kind of what makes this place so special, but what are some other unique things about the Milford Public Library that people might not know?
Well, we sort of service the community, and we found, for instance, we found that there were people who are non-traditional students who maybe are in a house with their kids or something else. They would come here to study.
Yeah.
And so we decided, okay, maybe we need to put in Wi-Fi, since we don't have, computers.
Yeah.
But, because then that would allow them. So we put in Wi-Fi.
That's wonderful.
We also, almost always, when we don't have the book sale going on with all the tables up and everything, we will have a puzzle that's being worked on. And sometimes community people will just come in and sit down and work on the puzzle for
That's
a while.
so fun. Yeah.
Yeah, it's sort of has a benefit of just being a community oriented place to be.
Yeah, that's wonderful. I love it. And I mean, you can't beat the location. You know, you have everything around you that you could want, but it's just such a quiet retreat from the hustle and bustle of life, you know?
Well, a lot of us who work here, that's when I always say that I don't mind working because, I mean, you might, there are not great crowds of people here
Right.
at one time.
Yeah.
So I always say, well, it's guilt-free reading time.
Yeah, there you
So,
go.
I don't have to be anyplace else, do anything else, so I can do that.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes people just stop in to read.
Yeah, and sometimes, you need a place other than your home, because like you said, right now, I know myself and my husband, we both work from home now, and a lot of people after the pandemic all work from home. So it's like home isn't really even a place for relaxation anymore,
Right.
because it's your office as well.
Good
So
point.
yeah, so when you can escape and come here to a different place where you can actually kind of, relax and recharge and, just escape in a book,
Right.
that's a nice thing to do.
Right.
So Barbara, tell me, what are the days and hours that you're open that people can come?
Okay. Since this is an unusual place, we have unusual hours.
I like it.
We are open on Wednesdays
Okay,
from 10 to 4,
okay,
and Thursdays from 2 to 5,
Okay.
and Fridays from 2 to 5,
okay,
and Saturdays from 10 to 4. So we're
Okay.
open 4 days a week.
okay. Awesome.
Hours vary just a little bit.
So tell me, do you guys have any new releases coming out that are coming in soon?
Well, we do. We've just ordered 30 new books.
Okay, nice.
And as I mentioned before, Louise Penny's new book is one of them. And we have a Baldacci coming in, and
Nice.
a John Sanford, and Ian Rankin has a new book out.
Nice. Okay.
And then Ellie Griffiths. And if you haven't read Ellie Griffiths, you really need to. She's wonderful.
Awesome.
And Jane Harper, who is known pretty much for the movie The Dry, because
Okay.
The Dry was her first book, and she's so we have a very eclectic group of books throughout the whole library.
That's wonderful. So, are there book clubs that people can join with
Yes.
this
Thank
library?
You. Thank you for mentioning that.
Yeah.
Yes, we have 2 book clubs.
Okay.
One right now is not taking new members because it's full, but
Okay.
the other one is.
Okay.
And so if you are interested in a book club,
Yeah.
a mystery book club, just call the library,
Okay.
and
they'll get you signed up?
They'll get you signed up.
Perfect.
Yes. Yes.
Awesome.
Or
Well,
come and
beautiful.
join, and you'll know those things.
Yes. Yeah.
So-
You'll be on the email list, and you'll
Right,
get the email
right.
about all the awesome events that you guys are doing.
Right. And you
Very
can always check Facebook.
Yes. Yep. Love that you're
Okay.
on social media. Perfect. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Barbara, for having me. It's been fantastic to learn about the Milford Public Library. I've always seen it, but I've never stopped in, to be honest. So this has been so enlightening, and I love that this is here because I love reading. I wish that I had more time to do it. I have 3 young kids, so they kind of eat up my
Yeah,
time.
yeah. Well,
but
for all
someday-
things, there is a season.
yes, exactly. Yeah, I do try to get at least a few books in a year, but mysteries are my favorite. So you'll definitely see me here.
Well, good. We'll be looking forward to that. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for coming.
Yeah,
It was
thank
a
you.
real pleasure.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And thank you so much for watching out there. Again, I'm Kristen Manning, realtor with Keller Williams, and thanks for stopping by Park Bench. Bye-bye.